Hey there YouTube, WhiskeyCactus here, welcoming you back to our Let's Play of The Letter. This is episode number 19. In the last episode, we continued on with Marianne, and we inspected the mansion, and found a different ghost. We got a little bit more backstory on who she, quote-unquote, I'm doing air quotes right now, who she is. The quote-unquote her from Marianne's past. Turns out it was a classmate of her Catholic school, all-girls Catholic school, who asked her out, and she, being a good Catholic, who was very conflicted about who she was, turned her down, and then she wound up killing herself. So that kind of guilt will fuck you up quite a bit. So we found Lorraine, who is the quote-unquote she. We found her in the mansion, in the study, in the mirror. So that all happened. So go watch that episode. It was actually a very good episode. I don't mean that to toot my own horn as a Let's Player. I mean, it was a good segment of the game. It was a good bit into Marianne's backstory. So definitely go ahead and check that out. So now we are going home from the mansion. We agreed to stay on the contract, and despite all that shit happening. So now we're going home, and I'm very curious as to what I'm going to find when I get there. But I think it's also interesting to note that we did not run into, quote-unquote, the ghost. We did not run into the ghost that all the other characters have been running into. Which is notable, because today was the day that the ghost was attacking Isabella at her work. So she wasn't in the... I assume she wasn't in the mansion, which is an interesting little tidbit there. But anyway, let us go ahead and progress. So, from the mansion and through Anselm, I rode with them in silence, the Wrights. But as soon as we hit city proper, I asked to be dropped off and bid them good night. I thought it'd be best if I didn't stay too long in confined spaces with either Mrs. or Mr. Wright. Oh yeah, we had an encounter with Mrs. Wright. We were just coming out of the study where we got attacked by a ghost through the mirror. And, we kind of, got a little touchy-feely with Hannah. So, things are a little awkward at the moment. Both seem to cause me serious trouble, and if the project had been any less interesting or grand, I would have dropped it without a second thought. Would have. Shouldn't have. Won't. I assure them that my place isn't that far off, and I have to fight the urge to roll my eyes and groan when Whiskey throws me a little smirk, because he knows where I live. Fucking douchebag. Alright. I like the Yuri art. But even in my own home, peace is elusive, as is sleep. Alright, I am getting ready for well, we just had a QuickTime event. I don't imagine that there will be another QuickTime event that soon, but you never know. Peace is elusive, as is sleep. I lie awake thinking of what I saw in that mansion. Are we gonna have a fucking another encounter with a ghost? Of who I saw. If I so much as hear a single whisper from her, if I so much as see a wisp of her hair, I'm afraid I'll go mad. But none of that happens. And it makes me feel hollow. Shit. I'm already saving. ... For 2 nights I've had trouble sleeping. But it's only one morning when fatigue has already let me rest that I'm reminded of what terrifies me so. Alright. Okay. Oh no, not okay. Not yet. We're still dreaming now. In my restless dreams I see that mirror. The one in the study. And in it, I see her. Are we gonna get a jump scare again? I see them. Who are they? Oh, here we go. Lorraine and Hannah. Okay, well, lovely. Hannah and Lorraine.
Oh, pathetic Marianne. Work. She'll work herself to death. See, she doesn't listen. That's all she did. Look at what happened to me.
They talk among themselves with cruel smiles and venomous tongues. Or rather, to themselves, 2 heads, 1 body. Oh, that's lovely. Horrible mockery of these women, as if they were the one and the same.
What's the pity? Life goes on and goes out, and she doesn't even see it. Do you think she'll even realize when she's kicked the bucket herself?
And they say a person has a hard time telling when they're in a dream. It was true often enough. Even with this bizarre sight, even with the obvious implication that this isn't real, I can't help but feel distressed.
Likely. Is that any way to live at all? She might as well be dead.
Great.
Cruel fate that she's alive and I'm, well,
Though they speak into each other's ear, tones low and hushed, I can still hear them as clear as day. Their whispers pervade the air, heavy and oppressive. They bury and dig into my head like tiny maggots, worming their way into my skull. It's only then that they take notice of my presence. Oh, great! They're looking at me! I love it! Great, great, hi. Hello. Please don't kill me. Eyes turn toward me, and I can only feel small under their scrutiny. Caricature smiles etch on their faces, mimicking each other grotesquely.
Oh, Marianne! How long have you been standing there, dearie? Come join us, Marianne. We won't bite.
Great. I totally believe you.
Unless you ask, that is.
Oh. Okay.
Have you been looking at us?
Yeah.
Spying?
A little bit.
How scandalous. Such a naughty gal. I'm sure you were just waiting for something lewd to happen, weren't you?
Probably.
You know she will not admit it. She thinks it wrong. You've said it so yourself. Yes. She thought me wrong, impure, abnormal, because I loved her.
Oh, hi! My breath hitches, and I open my mouth to protest, but they stop me, screeching. Mirror that holds them cracks, lines spidering across its surface.
Do not lie! We know the gluttonous thoughts you try to deny, girl. All those desires you bury beneath that sickening guilt. You act the martyr when you turn the bed you lie in into your own hedonistic hell.
I mean, they kind of have a point, I guess.
You are nothing but a tainted soul with filth-stained flesh held together by falsehood and pride.
That might be going a little far. They look livid. When it looks like they would lunge, I wake up. Yep, of course. I wake feeling the wind had been knocked out of me. With a groan, I squint and find a certain fluff ball sitting on my chest, looking as pleased as Punch. Hello there, kitty kitty. She is the overlady of the cats, queen of despair and destruction of nice furniture. Though I can't stay mad at her majesty, because it feels like she did something good this time. I was having a nightmare, but I can't even remember what it was about. Trying to recall leaves a terrible pit in my stomach. Maybe it's probably better that I don't remember.
Good morning, Baruthiel. Who's the good kitty? Are you hungry? Is that why you woke me up?
Yeah. Sure. Probably. Contented purr comes from my sweet dear before she jumps off the bed and trots toward the kitchen. On the other hand, it takes me a bit more before I roll out of bed and start my day. Mornings before work, it's always a quiet affair. Now, wait, that's interesting, because it's now the 26th, I think, right? Did it say the 26th? So we skipped a day, because I think it said that 2 days of dreams or something. I don't remember. But that's interesting, okay. So shower first, then a mug of coffee and a bowl of oats. Sometimes I do stretches, and I always check my work email. The Wrights will be moving into the mansion today. Yeah, so it is the 26th. I don't think the paperwork is officially done yet, but it isn't too far-fetched to think that they were allowed to start their move despite that. Rich people like them will always find ways to get what they want, after all.
I'll be leaving you again today, Beth. So you behave and make sure not to shred up my new covers, okay?
Okay.
And don't worry, I didn't forget tomorrow is Black Cat Day, so I'll throw you a party.
Awesome.
But only if you behave like a proper lady.
Yeah, she probably won't do that. She barely gives me a glance as I say that before going back to her own food. Cats. Still better than humans most of the time, huh? Not gonna disagree with that. Too bad I have to work with humans. Okay, well, we know what happens this morning. We have breakfast with Hannah, right? Place is already busy as soon as I get here. Foreman, one that I've recommended to the Wrights for his work ethic, is early as usual. Already he's instructing men here and there with the bigger loads. I have no chance to talk with him as Mrs. Wright appears and greets me with a smile.
Mrs. Wright, I hope everything has been to your liking thus far.
Good morning, Marianne. It has been delightful, and these men have been very helpful. Look at all this. It's so busy here. I'm getting tired just looking at them go.
No complications so far with the movers or the previous owners of the mansion, I hope?
If anything, the only one being problematic is Luke, if I'm to be honest.
Haha, yup.
He can be such a diva, but I do like that about him.
Interesting. She stops, looking up at the upper landing where Mr. Wright comes through with 2 other movers and the mirror from the study. Oh, good, get rid of that fucking thing.
Oh, do be careful with that mirror. We wouldn't want anyone getting hurt because of broken glass. Why are you even having it carried around?
Oh? You did say you didn't want the mirror, and I keep getting distracted by it.
Oh, what a douche.
If I'm going to turn the study into my office, I'd rather not have it there. Where can we put this?
Well, you are not putting it in our room. Why don't you go, I don't know, put it in the wine cellar for now? We can figure out if we'll store it in the attic or somewhere else later, yes?
Ooh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, so if they put the mirror in the wine cellar, so does the ghost only exist in the mirror? Or like the mirror is the way the ghost? Because where have we seen the ghost? We saw the ghost in a store window. We've seen the ghost through the camera lens. Seen the ghost in the mirror. But then we've also just seen the ghost, like, crawling up Zachary's legs and shit, so... I don't know. I thought I was onto something. Maybe not.
You heard her, boys. To the cellar it goes. Mush!
But it's interesting that the mirror's going into the wine cellar, and then we start hearing the crying from the wine cellar. Oh, why are you showing me this fucking mirror? I don't want to see the mirror. Come on, man. The movers bring down the mirror one step at a time, no matter how much the man tells them to hurry. An unsettling feeling grows in my stomach as I see our reflection in the bloody thing. I look away, not wishing to risk anything. If I see Lorraine's image in the mirror now, I wouldn't know what I'd do. I don't have the luxury of privacy right now, and I'm not going to break down in front of all these people. As soon as they go into the kitchen, I realize I'm holding my breath. I let out a sigh of relief when I think nobody's looking, and I go back to the task at hand. It'll be a terribly busy day, and there's no need for me to even think of anything else. I talk with the foreman, fill him in which room is which. It seems I'm doomed to not get any significant work done without being interrupted when it comes to these particular clients, however.
Marianne, dear, have you had breakfast yet?
Well, it's interesting because we've had this scene in Hannah's arc, so I'm wondering... I'm gonna save, just in case.
Well, I do believe it would be considered brunch at this hour.
Oh, yes, Mrs. Wright.
You must join me. Johannes has already been breaking in the kitchen, as they say. I do not see the others settling down for a meal anytime soon. Someone might as well enjoy the food while it's hot. And that someone might as well be us.
Indeed. I should say no, I really must say no. The way she smiles at me makes it difficult to do so. Look at how ridiculous I'm being, acting like a silly, nervous schoolgirl with a crush. It's just brunch, and who am I to say no to a client? It would be impolite to do so. It's not like I'm going to agree because of anything other than propriety. I'm not agreeing just because she batted her pretty eyelashes at me.
If you insist.
Really isn't any of those. But it's something about her eyes, rather. She looks like she needs a good talk. A friend. Yeah, okay, so this is... I was wondering, like, are they going to give me a choice and I can choose to break from what I did before? But, no, this is very much the same thing. And although I'm not supposed to be chummy with my client, there's no harm in pretending, right? Okay. Of course, I've been wrong on many occasions before. Maybe there is plenty harm in pretending that I care. Because pretending I care might lead to actually caring. Being alone in the same room as the missus leaves me reeling as I find myself paying too much attention to her. It seems so borderline unhealthy how much I'm getting obsessed, even if it's just by looking. And it's the little insignificant things that I noticed. Like the way she plays with her hair, or how she smooths down her dress.
Hiya! Come on now!
Whiskey's annoying voice in the other room helps pull me back to the ground. I'm just looking, aren't I? I know that sometimes... or that someone like her wouldn't even look at someone like me. Still, there's some time to turn around this bad decision.
I'd really like to thank you for inviting me to breakfast, Mrs. Wright. But I already ate, so I should really go back to work.
Nonsense! You arrived so early. You must not have gotten a proper meal. Sit. I'd situate us in the dining hall, but it is a mess right now.
This is, I believe, as far as I can remember, this is the exact same conversation from Hannah's arc. Her concern is sweet, as is her smile. But I'm really not here for idle chit-chat, something I keep forgetting. Okay, we're both distracted when the food arrives, and it's enough for me to stay, at least until the meal is over. No more, no less, just to be polite. Thankfully, the conversation steers into a topic I'm comfortable with, work. It goes on for a bit, and I can't be more relieved, but most people wouldn't understand calling me a workaholic, but I chose to work in a field I'm enthusiastic about. So what if my career is also my hobby?
But no, really, how have you liked it so far?
Oh, it has been wonderful, believe me. Everything is going smoothly too. It has been a long time since I've worked on something on this grand a scale. Nowadays, everyone is about condos and flats, living in the city where every room is an identical box.
I used to live in a penthouse condo.
Believe me, this is very refreshing.
We lived in a condo before this, Marianne.
Oh, fuck.
I didn't mean any insult.
It's fine, sweetie. Look at you, all frazzled. I was just pulling your leg. Luke wanted that penthouse when we got married, and you can thank him for purchasing this place as well.
Wait, doesn't she own the house? I'm pretty sure. I have no business with it, though. It's theirs to hash out. Apparently, the momentary confusion had been visible on my face.
Don't be fooled. I'm just the treasury. I wouldn't be able to make a purchase this grand without his seal of approval.
I see.
That's it. That's all you have to say.
Yes, what else is there to it? Without warning, this nice friendly chat devolved into something horrible. Something sad.
But I really don't know what to say, Mrs. Wright. We were talking of no topic in particular, and...
Luke. We were talking about Luke.
About him not eating breakfast with you?
About him treating me as if I were some treasury.
Despite my general dislike of the upper class, I sometimes feel pity for them. They may have all the money in the world where material things aren't a problem, but they don't even see what they've become and where they've ended up, or what they've done most of the time. They're shut in by their own trap, forced to play along with society's expectations and do anything to stay where they are and to keep what they have. A world where even people feel or treated like they are mere possessions. When someone is at the top, the only way for them to go is down. I've worked with many Hannahs and Lukes and Whiskeys, but I've never been one of them. I don't pretend to understand their world any deeper than that. I merely know what I've witnessed before. She looks lost, speechless at how she betrayed herself. My pity for the likes of her returns. Nothing but pity moves me as I speak before she can say anything else that might ruin or break her.
I won't speak a word, Mrs. Wright. Not only am I contractually obliged to, it would also go against my principles. This is no one else's business but your own, and it should be kept between the two of you. And whoever you wish to seek counsel from.
Please, Marianne. You have to understand. These sort of affairs. If anyone were to know this, they could just twist it and we'll be ruined. All I ask for is your silence on the matter.
The way she practically begs me to keep quiet about it is disheartening. I have no plans of speaking about anything I hear, especially if it is about their private affairs, but the way she looks at me, the way she just expects some sort of fallout because of this, makes my heart clench.
Well, I'm keeping that information confidential as well.
It's not like I have any other choice, do I?
Thank you.
When the last of the food and drink is gone, the door opens as if on cue.
Madam, the photographer from Luxury Living is here.
Hello, Zach. What up?
This was a wonderful meal, Marianne. You're free to return to your duties. I must excuse myself.
It was my pleasure. And thank you for the food as well.
She stands up to leave, and all I want to do is reassure her again to prove that I am someone she can trust. So when she looks back my way, I didn't fight the smile that found its way on my face. I feel giddy, but the feeling dies down afterwards as I sober up. Oh well, back to work. Oh god. I hate the kitchen. The kitchen is... So we put the mirror down in the wine cellar, and I fucking bet you, I'm gonna have some kind of thing going on with that wine cellar. Soon enough, I find myself drawn to the kitchen, where the Wright butler has returned to. He's already claimed the space and telling movers to back off, and none dares to question his proclamation either.
My kitchen. No kinder allowed. Little men running around with knives especially. We do not want any accidents to happen now, do we? Good? Good.
Ha 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 ha. Yeah, no accidents happening in the kitchen with knives. I mean, it is a knife-wielding German standing there. I don't think anyone would be insane enough to refuse his request. That seems a little kind of racist.
I hope I meet the age restriction, or at least the height restriction, because I'm asking to be let in here.
You are allowed inside, McCulloch, but not the little ones.
A shake from my head and a roll of my eyes is all I give him. It's not like I'm going to be of any trouble to him. I just need to look around and get my bearings. Breakfast had been distraction enough. Don't even want to think about what we just talked about. Just need to get my head straight and get back to work. Oh god. Alright. The movers work efficiently even when they're left alone, and they do quick work of their responsibilities. Excuse me, the head foreman comes, standing in the doorway to consult me on this or that, and I have to go help out every now and then. They pretty much have everything up to standards. They skip lunch entirely, not even realizing when they do so. Nevertheless, all is well, and the butler gets to heating up the leftover bubble and squeak from breakfast, and makes a generous batch of fish and chips for them. Most likely simple in comparison to what he serves to the rights, but well done nonetheless.
That smells good. Want to wrap up some for me to go?
It's an idle observation more than anything. My thoughts, as they are, preoccupy me.
If there are any left, one can't go wrong with fish and chips. Everyone loves them, even my husband, and he's American.
I really do hate getting so up close and personal with my clients. It's a distraction. It is obvious to me that I've gotten my priorities all wrong when I can't help but think about what I heard, what I learned about the right couple. These things have a way of creeping up on a person. Thoughts, ideas, whether they are fact or fiction. They creep up and fester, crawl and writhe in a way that twists. I hear giggling, delighted and mocking. Oh wait, I still hear giggling. Real giggling. Oh shit! They creep up and... Fuck. The sensation of fingers ghosting briefly on my arm causes me to freeze and hiss. It's just gonna be Luke, right?
Don't!
I half expect her to be there.
Whoa, no need to scream bloody murder!
How did I guess? How did I guess?
It's just me. Quiet down before you break glass.
But it's just whiskey.
Don't do that again. Ever.
Don't like being scared, though. I don't believe in the likes of spooks. Excuse the fuck out of you, Marianne. What the fuck did we just witness last episode? Being startled is not on the top of the list of things Marianne liked. Lucky for him, I have nothing within reach, or he would have gotten on friendly terms with something like a rolling bin.
What was with that reaction? Were you really scared? Has Johann's been telling you ghost stories? He just loves to scare people. Isn't that right, Brother Gurium?
The butler's expression is unreadable. Hardly see any emotion on his face to begin with since I started working for the Wrights, aside from vague amusement. There must have been something there, though, judging from Mr. Wright's own content look. The expression on Mr. Wright's face is almost cruel. But neither of them spoke, even as Johans leaves the room to serve the workers their late lunch.
So, now that we're alone, Marianne, what are you so jumpy for?
Oh, I don't know. Haunted mansion and all.
I was just thinking about all the urban legends the movers have been telling me about this place.
Don't tell me you believe in that tosh. They're nothing but tales made up to scare children. Tilly, Billy, don't you dare go up to that big mansion and get in trouble there. The ghosts are going to get you.
I might let you die. just maybe. I just might wind up letting you die.
That's a boring way to look at it, but that's usually what it is anyway, no? Like I said, I was just thinking.
It would be a relief, actually, if those rumors of this place being haunted is true. That just means I'm not going bonkers. Pick your battles, Marianne. Hearing, let alone seeing a dead person isn't exactly the symptoms of a healthy mind. Sure, it means there would be such things as ghouls and goblins, but at least I'd be sane, yeah! Silver linings. On the other hand, there would actually be a dead girl walking around. Indeed.
If you could excuse the inane question, Mr. Wright. You haven't noticed anything weird here?
Simple enough question on the surface, yet I notice the man stiffen as the question leaves my mouth. Interesting, I wonder if he's seen anything yet. Wouldn't have noticed it if I wasn't watching his reaction intently, but in his eyes I see something dangerous.
It depends on your definition of the word weird. Are we still on the topic of this place being haunted?
Yes.
Because no, things have not started to fly around and we have yet to require an exorcism. I don't think my head would like to do the whole 180-degree turn thing.
Foreshadowing. Calling it right now, foreshadowing. I bet you if he dies, that's how he dies.
Well, maybe that, but no strange people?
Aside from my usually weird butler and all the weird men traipsing around touching my things? No, not really. Why do you ask? Have you noticed anyone strange while you were here? Because you must report it to Johans and he'll have security handle it.
Hey, Johans, want to go into that mirror and get that dead girl out of it, please?
But these reports better not be about ghosts and things that go bump in the night. I don't want to waste manpower on the boogeyman or senseless witch hunts.
Witch hunts? Really?
I'll keep that in mind, Mr. Wright. But no, it's nothing like that. I guess the mansion is just strange for me. It's a unique project.
No strange men or women lurking about then?
A dead teenager would technically qualify as strange. But yeah, the whole I see dead people thing isn't going to go over well.
None that I know of. But I'll inform Johans immediately if something comes up.
I'm serious, Mint. You see anything, anyone suspicious, and you report it. Immediately.
Interesting, it's like he expects somebody, not ghosts or anything, but I think he expects some actual real person to be creeping around or something.
I think that goes without saying.
Huh. Concern he has when the talk of security is quickly gone. His arrogant, smug smirk returns, if a bit subdued. Whatever smarmy remark or innuendo he has at the ready never comes, though, as voices from the dining hall ring out.
So, is this a full-time job for you then?
Zachary.
Nah, I just freelance mostly, for magazines, newspapers, and events. So you can't really call it a full-time job. It's fun and it puts food on the table, but it's not what I really want to do. At least not all the time.
That would be the magazine photographer, I presume. As always, Mrs. Wright talks in such a kind and cheery fashion no matter who she's talking with. Certainly puts people at ease around her. It sounds like it's working on the photographer, too. Hearing them, though, seems to put Mr. Wright in a sour mood, because he's a fucking racist, that's why. At least if his small scowl is anything to go by. Well, that was odd. Kinda jumped back to my desktop there. Had some kind of pop-up, so... Anyway, so we have a choice here. I don't really want to add points to Luke. Where am I at with Luke? Just a little bit above the mid, or above the line. So I feel like if I try to lighten the mood, that's probably like the neutral thing. This will actually probably get points. So let me try to lighten the mood.
You're not gonna go out there and join Mrs. Wright?
Okay. Lost points with Luke. I'm okay with that.
You're starting to look strained. If you want your picture taken so badly, I'm sure the photographer would oblige.
What is it that you want to do then?
Fuck him. He's making me almost feel bad for him. God damn it. Ah. Fuck.
Film. Documentaries mostly.
Alright, hold on. Just out of curiosity. What would happen? What would happen if I do this? I mean, obviously the relationship will go up, but...
Hey, are you alright there, Whiskey? You're looking like you need a serious drink.
What is it that you want to do then?
Film. Documentaries mostly. But cinematography is a lot more difficult than photography, right? I was working on the thing, actually.
I'm fine. Just a bit winded from all that moving about. It's been a long day.
And the day's not over yet. So if you can excuse the bluntness, you either shape up to help or ship out back to your room and let us do the rest of the work.
He hesitates, eyes locked firmly on the door that led to the dining hall. Even now, we can still hear Mrs. Wright and the photographer chit-chat between shots.
It's not my place to say this, but she really does seem to care a lot about you, you know?
Alright, so let's go ahead. There's a lot of shit here. How much of this actually matters? Let's go ahead and overwrite this one. So real quick, I just kind of want to see where this goes. So this is the one where we, right, okay.
But cinematography is a lot more difficult than photography, right? I was working on the thing, actually.
We need to get you away from the butler. You're starting to sound like him. No, I'm not joining Hana for an interior design magazine photo. What am I, a piece of furniture? Look, did a lot of you have anything else crucial to do today? Marianne?
There are still some little things to do. It isn't the end of the day yet.
Yes, but you're paid hourly, aren't you? Per day? Really, I don't care. You and the others can just take off for the day.
Why is he dismissing us early all of a sudden? Is this about possible security threat? Did my question get him all wary and paranoid that he would just send the workers and I away? Realized that threats are of actual concern to these rich and powerful people. I imagine whether anyone wants to or not, they get a few enemies here and there. But I'm sure the foreman and his works can be trusted and are of no threat. Well, at least I trust the people I'm working with. I understand if he doesn't know them from a can of paint. Still, won't it be safer if the people around who can if there are people around who can watch their back?
You're the boss. My being paid by the day aside, I won't be held responsible for any significant delay caused by your decisions. I'll try to get around that, of course, but I'll just remind you of the fact.
Whatever, take forever with the house. I don't give a bloody damn. Don't you worry, you're still getting your money. Just sod off, go crawl around a pub and find yourself a good lay.
Yeah, I'm looking at your wife, actually. Paranoid or aggravated as he might be, this conversation certainly didn't have to warrant that sort of remark.
Maybe I will.
Okay. So, do I want to go with that, or do I want to go back where I get a couple of points? We're 33 minutes in. I think we're just going to keep on this path. I don't want to keep going back and forth. Alright, let's just go ahead and save over this. Alright, walking out of the kitchen, I just accept the fact that whatever he says will go while under his roof. Oh, hello there. Mrs. Wright and the photographer are still far too busy in conversation to notice me, even as I make my way through the dining hall. Besides, I don't want to ruin their fun.
Well, it wasn't really a big thing. People didn't like Blue Fonzie very much.
People don't like a film about colors. I suppose they would have liked Blue Bibby a lot more.
Going to the foyer has me stumble upon the family butler once more, who raises a brow at my presence.
And where are you off to in a hurry, Miss McCulloch? The foreman is looking for you.
The Bratwurst wants us off the clock. He's dismissing us early because of... Oh, I don't know. He just wants us out of here.
Huh. Interesting.
I'll go and call a cab for you then. It would be for the best that you leave when he asks you to.
Well, alright then, I don't doubt it. Well, okay. So we have something new. We have, to keep her mind off of things that haunted her, Marianne McCullough focused on assisting the Wrights during their move-in. Later that afternoon, she was seen chatting with Luke Wright, who then demanded she and the rest of her crew take an early leave. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save again, because you can never save too much when you're in a visual novel. At least, this far in, anyway. My ride back to the city doesn't take too long to get here. Granted, there were some difficulties at first, because the driver didn't know where the Ermengarde mansion is. Tried to have us hand over GPS coordinates from our smartphones or some other technobabble I didn't care about, but the butler didn't understand. Excuse me. As soon as we told him it's the haunted mansion over in Anselm Village, he knew just the place. Finally headed over, albeit with some hesitation. Alright. All the way back to the city, the driver keeps complaining about that place, giving him the willies. Gives me willies, too. Would have loved to snap at him. as soon as the thought occurs to me, another blossoms in the forefront of my mind. One that somehow bothered me greatly more than my exasperation over whiskey and the project, or wanting all of it to stop. There's been no Lorraine whispering over my ears today. Worse, I find myself searching for it. Searching for her. Something in an Irish, some kind of Irish interjection. Loose ends, fucking bloody loose ends everywhere. I thought I'd already moved past this years ago, and it does nothing to help me curb my frustration. If anything, it only ensures that I want a stiff drink. And where else do I go to drink? Here we go. Tuesdays are for karaoke, and Wednesdays, improv. Usually it's these four guys who did hilarious games. The one with Irish drinking songs are always a crowd favorite. Whose line? Hello. Though I love a good laugh, stand-up comedy isn't my thing. Without Cam or Hodina or any other distractions, I end up drinking a lot more this time. And when there's several bottles of beer in me, I get really, really embarrassing.
Hey! G! Psst! G, come over here. I need you for something.
It's a good thing that the bartender is a nice fellow. Probably been kicked out of other places by now, or worse. If push comes to shove, all he would do is give me an easy smile and a shake of his head, even when he's attending to other customers. Just like now.
Give me a moment, will ya? I gotta go check on her.
He's some Asian guy. I'm pretty sure I've seen him before, a couple of times, although he never talks to anyone else except G. Girls used to be all over him too, but he always turned them away.
I'll be here. You go do that before she falls over.
Ha ha! Ha ha! Of course. I should have known. I should have. Why didn't I guess that? I don't know. It's always the same people.
All right. What is it?
Dude, why do you look like every other character? You seriously look like the priest and the cop dude and not the professor. But he's like, seriously. Is it just the same base model with different hair and stuff? It very well could be, I don't know.
Do you need someone to help you get home?
Bartender, pour the wine.
Haha, no.
I think there's enough alcohol for you, little missy. I'm cutting you off.
A whine comes from the back of my throat as he pulls my bottle away. I have no hope of getting them back once they're behind the counter. Even in my drunken mind, I don't dare hop over it for them. Because what little sense I have left knows I'd sooner take a floor dive than succeed in wrestling a bottle from a sober man. That doesn't stop me from trying to reach out my arms like a stupid idiot anyway. He smiles and shakes his head just like I knew he would, before going back to the other guy.
Right now, where were we? How you holding up, boy?
With no drink and no one to really chat with, I would have gone home or gone to sleep on the bar right there and then. Okay, so checking the journal. This is the 26th. What do we know about Ashton at this point? Do we know anything? Like, where was he? 25th is when Isabella came over, and Ashton called Zachary before anything to call. Ashton offered to pick her up, and that's when they had the big lunch. And that was the previous day. What was it on the 27th? 27th is when, okay, so he hasn't been taken off the case yet. So he doesn't really have, we don't really know what reason he has to be drinking himself silly at the bar. With no drink and no one to really chat with, I would have gone home or gone to sleep at the bar right there and then. I'm not ready to stand up and try to trek back home just yet.
Same old. I'm still on the Luxborn firm case.
Those blokes they talk about being in dark suits, whisking people into the night or some shit and all that. Didn't the media call it some ridiculous name in the morning news?
What is it this time? Wait, don't answer that. They've called it a lot of things. As long as people don't start running around claiming they're the Illuminati.
Interesting.
So, what have you got for me this time, G? Anything good?
Slow down there. You haven't even told me what sort of dealing dosh we got. Who are you looking into this time?
Their talk would have interested me, would have kept my attention if I gave a damn. But in my current state, I can barely give two fucks about things going on around me. I like how she gets really, like, sweary when she drinks. All these words are just buzzing, barely surfacing from the sea of sounds that is the pub. It would have stayed that way, perhaps even drowned, if I didn't hear his name.
Luke Wright.
Uh-huh.
You know the guy.
Yep.
And don't pretend like you don't, G. It takes a special kind of ignorant not to know who he is.
That smug blonde who likes throwing round his money. He was just here a few days ago, as a matter of fact.
Oh yes, I remember that very clearly.
Great tipper, if you think him just dumping a wad of cash on the counter after having too much whiskey counts as tipping. Why are you asking? He dirty?
Of course.
You have no idea, G. He's probably the worst sort you can imagine.
Luke fucking right. Fucking whiskey. Even without him around, I'm still hearing about the guy. What the absolute fuck. Despite this, I find myself getting up and sauntering over to join them before I pipe up.
Is this smack talk about Luke fucking right I'm hearing, eh?
Ha ha!
Private conversation here, lady.
There's only amusement on G's face. The Asian guy, he starts to look ticked off as hell.
Don't worry, Holmes, she's clean. And she might be able to help you with your, predicament.
Course. A drunk's just stumbled through here with what I need. Get real, G. No offense, lady, but you're smashed.
Indeed I am.
I know, right? Nothing beats being drunk after a hard day's work. Especially when you're working for Mr. Luke Wright.
So, she works for the guy? Doesn't that make her, I don't know, suspect?
See, have a little faith in me, why don't you? I don't have much, and you might as well have something to go off. You're the one who was so desperate to come running to me for business.
Yoo-hoo! Still right here, fellas. 5 feet 11. Can't miss me. Unlike Shorty over here.
Hey, don't be mean to short people, Marianne.
What's it that mad look? You want to dance, boy? You don't look like you can bust a groove. Maybe a leg, but with that fancy coat of yours.
To add insult to injury, I move directly behind him and use the top of his head as an armrest. Fuck off. When he shakes me off, I plop into the seat right next to him.
Don't try me. You can hardly stay on your feet. We don't want to ruin your fancy coat, do we?
Ah, children, the both of you. But you're still standing after all that, are you? Matt, you see this giantess? She's a legendary regular here. Been drinking like there's no tomorrow. I'm a bit jealous. Can't do that anymore or my liver will give out on me. Do with the mic, too. Don't see you much recently, but I guess you're always busy, are you? You're some fancy designer or something, if I remember correctly.
Wait, I know you. You were at the open house for the mansion.
Yeah, that's right. Marianne McCulloch. I'm a famous interior designer extraordinaire. Ooh, that rhymes.
What rhymes?
Anyway, you guys were talking about that weenie Luke Wright, right?
Or something. Can't really talk about it. I don't even know if I can trust you, even if G said you're clean. But anything would be of help.
Well, I don't gossip about my clients, if that's all there is to this.
You wanted to gossip about him a few minutes ago, Marianne.
And that was the beer talking, not Marianne.
You won't mind if we ask the beer a few questions then?
I don't know why that line cracks me up. That's funny.
Maybe. Depends on who's asking and what they're asking. But seriously, that guy is abso-fucking-lutely frustrating.
Yes, indeed. He very much is.
One moment, he's an absolute dickhead. And then, he's acting like an actual decent human being the next. I just can't figure him out. I can't imagine how that pretty wife of his can put up with him. If I were her, I'd dump his flat arse straight up.
And I'm not just saying that because I think Hannah's pretty or anything. Luke is a catch too, they both are. But I really cannot, for the love of all things holy, see how they even work out together.
So, Luke Wright, have you noticed anything strange about him while you were working with him? Anything peculiar? Of note?
You're the one being peachy right about now, Holmes. But nah, nothing that comes to mind off the top of my head. He's just like most rich, smarmy arseholes and then some.
A giggle bubbles up and I press my cheek against the cool countertop with my eyes shut tight, just because. Eventually cracking one eye open just in case they thought I fell asleep, I grin at Holmes.
So, Holmes, I'm guessing you're some private detective or something. Is it Hannah? Did she pay you to look if he's been cheating or some such?
Maybe. No, I doubt it.
Hana's the wife, right? What about her? How's she?
Gorgeous. I mean, totally professional.
How is she, or how is she? Well and good. Definitely the nicer of the two and sexiest sin to boot. Not a private detective, then? Are you from one of them tabloids wanting to know if the Luke Wright doesn't know how to put his pants on right?
Ooh, is she about to spill the shit that she swore she wasn't gonna tell anybody? Uh-oh. I bet you that's gonna be a choice, isn't it? I bet you I'm gonna have that choice to spill the secrets or to not spill the secrets. Huh. That's interesting.
Pants. I take the pants off of...
Hannah. Ah, there we go. Slipping. Haven't been this drunk in such a long time. It's a miracle I've been coherent for as long as I have been right now.
I'm asking you if you've noticed any odd behavior from her.
Odd behave... You what? I wonder how she'd be drunk. I can just imagine her like the giggly sort. What do you think?
These are serious questions, Marianne. Lives might just be at stake here.
You don't even fucking know, Ashton.
What do you expect? She's smashed.
Why am I even doing this? This is getting me nowhere, G. She's not a reliable source. The chief, let alone the courts, aren't going to take the word of a drunk. This will be dismissed, and I might be in trouble if they try to argue that I coerced a testimony out of her. This is a fucking train wreck.
You're a fucking train wreck now, if you ask me.
Get roasted, Ashton. Jesus Christ.
Maybe it's about time you apply the brakes and stop for a bit.
A wave of despair that comes over both of them is palpable. If feelings had a taste, it'd be bitterer than the beer I'm full of. And it gets me thinking, though thinking doesn't get me far with too much shite in my system.
You know that's not an option. Thanks for being patient, McCullough. Good luck with your work on that mansion.
Speaking of that mansion, there's something going on in that place. Something. As och day! No wonder Mr. Wright likes it so much. It's as fishy as he is. Rotten bloke. Maybe that Santos girl is really onto something, eh?
Ooh.
Suspicious shite, I'm telling you. Explains why she's so reluctant.
Interesting.
What do you mean that Santos girl is onto something?
Haha. Before I get another word out, there's hands on my shoulders and everything starts to spin. Quickly slap his hands away, but best I can, and send him the foulest look I can muster.
Take your hands off me, pipsqueak. I'm not a lady who's shaken or stirred unless you want me up chucking on your pretty hair. But it's just like I said. Are you sure you aren't brain damaged or deaf? Santos girl from VRC showed us this creepy letter. You know, just like those spam stuff you get in your emails. And we thought it was some joke, or that the girl was just a bit too green to handle a big sale like that. You should have seen the look on their faces when they saw it. Whiskey, that's Luke fucking right, you get me? And the missus didn't look too happy either.
Aha!
I should have taken a picture and posted it everywhere.
Maybe you shouldn't have. Maybe it's good that you didn't do that.
When rich snobs give you that face,
Oh,
no
of the...
wonder
okay,
the
never mind.
Santos girl went all mental on us. Working with them does that, you know? I think I'm about to. I'm not mental yet, am I? Anyway, just like I said, in that man... Hey, you okay? Holmes? You're looking a bit shaky yourself there.
Want to check something real quick. Okay, but he's still super dismissive the next day. Ashton is. But it's not until... This is the day of the party. Yeah, it's not until the 29th that Ashton is like, be real careful and shit. That's quite a few days away. He really is pale, paler than before at least. I can see the gears turning in his head on overtime. Oh, hello. Suddenly, he shoves a card in my hand. On it, his name, Ashton Frey, and his number. But he has a second thoughts as he grabs it from me and slips it into my pocket.
You're cute, pretty boy. But I prefer blondies.
Well, you're not exactly my type either, lady.
Yeah, no kidding. We know what your type is.
But listen to me. If something comes up, don't do anything rash. If you think you're in danger or if you see anything suspicious, call me and the authorities as soon as possible. You understand me? That's 99...
I know what the damn emergency number is.
Right, 999. Good. Anyway, I have to run. See you, G.
The guy is quick on his feet. Already up and at him as soon as the numbers leave his lips. Let's check this out. What do we have? We have a new journal entry. We have... The interior designer once again drank her frustrations away at the Crawl Bar. Albeit heavily intoxicated, she was seen chatting with Ashton Frey, a detective inspector working for the LPD, about Luke Wright. Before abruptly leaving, the detective left her his calling card. Alright. Watching him as he maneuvers through the crowd of other pub-goers, is enough to tire me out. Fast as he can, he's at the door and throws us a smile, and that's all we get before he's gone, just like that.
Oi, what about your drink, boy? I'll go put it on your tab then.
Holmes boy always like that, G?
Pretty much. But what about you? I suppose I'll put your drinks on your tab too. Don't want you to spill your wallets when you look like you're close to spilling yourself.
Yeah, and if it's fine by you, I think I'll go take a bit of a cat nap here. Just for a sec or two.
Go right ahead. I'll wake you when I close up shop.
Alright. We got swimming and cocktails. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and save here. We've been going for about 52 minutes now, so... this is where I left off here, right? Yeah, alright. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and end off this episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to leave a like. I can't talk over Marianne snoring, so hold on. Popping the headphone out of my ear. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, please be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. How are you enjoying this series so far? Who's your favorite character? What do you think is going to happen? All that same stuff. Also, make sure you're subscribed for more of The Letter, more Tales of Exilia, and more of anything else that happens to pop up on this channel. So thank you guys. When we continue next, we will find out what the hell's going to happen here. I imagine some kind of spooky dream. I don't know. I feel like we may be getting fairly close to the... I could go to, like, the branching tree and see how close we are to the end of Marianne's arc, but I don't want to do that. But I imagine we're probably getting fairly close, and I think... What is it, Ashton next? It's Rebecca next. Okay, so we do have to wait a bit for Ashton, so that'll be interesting. That all, I guess, is coming up next episode, or a few episodes from now, I'm not sure, so we'll see. You'll have to be subscribed and watch the next episode when it comes out to find out then. So thank you guys so much. I will see you next time. Goodbye.